Good day, class. I'm Mark, and this is Gonzo, and today we're talking about how to make Curse of Strahd more engaging. Gonzo,
Yes, sir.
Curse of Strahd. What is Curse of Strahd? Maybe not all our viewers know what Curse of Strahd is.
Curse of Strahd. This is the game setting for 5th edition. The book's right over there. And it's a different setting than most of the Forgotten Realms. And that it is a very horror-themed setting. And it is ruled by a vampire wizard named Strahd.
Vampire Wizard.
Yeah.
That's double
whammy, double bad. Yeah. And there are lots of D&D YouTube videos on how to prepare for the Curse of Strahd and what's involved in it and some of the things you'll encounter. In fact, one that we like quite a bit is from How to D&D, and that is How to Prepare Curse of Strahd. So check it out. The link will be somewhere in the description or somewhere, okay, right above him. And check that video out when you get a chance. But what we wanted to talk about today is using ambiance to really set the setting up. So as we know, the Curse of Strahd started back in 1983, I believe, back when you were still an old man, but I was a young kid at that time, and we... So it was a setting that came out from Tracy and Laura Hickman, and it was an adventure called Ravenloft. And that adventure gripped the D&D world by the hair and dragged them in. Everyone loved it. It became one of the most popular and sought-after adventures to play. And they redid, in the 2nd edition, they made it a whole campaign setting with a whole world that you could explore, with different adventures you could buy to get into it. And then in 5th edition, we have what we have before us there, and that's the Curse of Strahd, which is a whole adventure that takes you from 1st to 10th level, I believe.
Yeah.
Culminating in your battle with Strahd himself.
Wow.
So, but that's not what we wanted to talk about today. We wanted to talk about how to make it a little more engaging or more epic for the players and the dungeon masters, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
But what's the best way to do that?
So really, you want to try to engage the players and kind of make it have they feel like they're in that game setting, and the way you go about that is like what they're seeing, what they may be smelling, even, or what they're hearing, all those things that really make it a visceral kind of experience. More so than just playing through an adventure. And what I mean, for example, for visually, I mean, look at in front of us, we have here the DM screen, which is a Curse of Strahd DM screen. So visually, right away, you're kind of setting the tone that, whoa, this is different. That's a different DM screen. So there's one.
So using art to
Absolutely.
accentuate the setting that the players are getting involved in.
Yeah. So any artwork, you could even put up some horror movie kind of posters. You want to kind of set the tone. Any artwork you want to, if you don't have one of these, or you have one of the ones that you can put in your own pictures, there's plenty of pictures of Strahd or any
print out and clip.
Clip it, yeah, absolutely. So it kind of sets the tone, and it makes it very creepy. This is a very, very creepy setting, and that kind of sets that tone. Another thing you might do, one of our campaigns, we did something with lighting, right? What did we do with lighting?
Lighting is a big thing when you're setting the mood, whether it's in a movie or if you're playing D&D.
Right.
And this is definitely a dark atmosphere. It should be and feel as if you can't quite see everything around every corner.
Right.
And so if you can just dim the lighting a little bit, or even use candles of some kind or something, be careful.
Yeah.
Don't burn your gaming room down, but
that would make it memorable.
Well,
it is engaging, but
that
that's
would
not
engage.
would
Engage your players, but you may lose your priceless heirlooms. So,
Be
but
safe.
yeah, you dim the lighting a little bit. I know in our game, one of the things that we did as Dungeon Master, we dimmed the lights and we put up Halloween lights. There's orange and purple lights or something. Right. We kind of hung those around. We threw up some fake webbing and some spiders and that kind of stuff. Yeah. But just walking into the room, and then it was a little different than what we normally engage in. Right. It was that was a big deal. What else can we use?
Well, I like how we use the smoke machine because in Curse of Strahd, the mist is a big thing. Not to be too much a spoiler. Mist is it's a big element in the game. So to have smoke machine in there, you kind of you feel like you're in the mist, and that really amps it up quite a bit, and the tension. All of these things kind of build the tension, but probably the thing that really builds tension most would probably be the music, right, Gonzo?
Yeah, music in any movie you've ever watched, especially scary movies, they kind of grow and grow with the music. You can tell when something's about to happen. Oftentimes they'll cut the music off, and everyone's holding their breath because they know a jump scare is going to happen. But that is a great way to set the mood, and that's music. In fact, you can go on Spotify, Pandora, whatever you'd like. You can find creepy music playlists. You can find some all over the internet. It's pretty easy. In fact, our Patreon members, we're going to have a downloadable list that will have access to, that we put together and used in our campaign. But music really does a number. It's a classic trope to use in any setting when you're trying to instill a mood with those that are viewing that setting or are engaged in that.
You had a cool story that happened recently in the game where music really kind of amped the tension. And what was that happened again? Tell me again.
Yeah, so it was just it was actually a short story I took from the Book of Crypts. I don't know if it's this one here, but that I threw into the regular campaign setting that we were in. And our players were at a small little village where they ran into some things that people were becoming lost at night and not returning, and so they were kind of in the middle of figuring this out, and 2 of them were out as night watch while the rest were sleeping. And as they're jumping around at night, they noticed something jumping from roof to roof, and it was just a fleeting motion, maybe some red glowing eyes. They followed that to the old decrepit, broken down church that they had seen during the day, and they were like, should we go wake the rest of the party? So what I did was, if you don't, then I'm going to send the rest of the party out of the room. And they said, no, we're just going to go in as smart barbarians.
Sure, that's what you do. If you don't wake the rest of the party, you can handle it.
They said, no, we can do this ourselves. So I sent the rest of the group out. So it was just me and the 2 players that had decided to go into this church. Right. It got creepier inside. There was a pile of dead bodies in there that they were kind of searching through. And the music that was playing in the background was already creepy music. Right. But the song had went to the next song. And the next song was this very high... violin, really super creepy song that kind of blended right into the mood that I was setting.
Kind of like in Joker, in the Dark Knight, when the Joker's talking about how he got his scars, and
there's like a high pitched noise coming in.
That tension just build. That kind of had that kind of effect. Yeah,
so that's music compiled with the setting and what they were seeing, and so I quickly took advantage of that and said, well, as you're searching the bodies, you see movement off to your right, and some hair and red eyes are jumping up and down, and it breaks out the window, and they literally screamed and said, okay, we're waking up, we're running out, whatever. Yeah, right. So it really set the mood. It was fun to watch them literally be kind of spooked out a little bit and go and get the rest of their player, their characters to come in and help look at what was going on there. Music can be a big factor. In fact, if you hear creepy music kind of like that, you can easily see how that is going to change your game, especially when you're running the Curse of Strahd.
Very good, very good. Yeah. So we had talked about the visual stuff, the sound and all before. I recently ran across something that really got me thinking. There was a Kickstarter for RPG candles, and I like the idea because the idea was you have a candle that smells like wherever they're at, the setting. So like if they're outside in the forest, and there's pine, but maybe there's a campfire, so there's a little bit of campfire smell in there. Okay. I'm like, that's kind of an interesting idea. So if you don't get an RPG candle, you certainly can go to Yankee Candle or something and get something. And you could actually bring that in. Now, I recommend getting something that smells pleasant. I don't know that they have like
skunk smell.
They don't have like dungeon smell. No. Or
pile of dead bodies.
Smell. Graveyard smell. And I probably don't want that. Yeah, I don't want that. So, but if there's something that would make that work, that kind of smells, that might be something you might want to try. Now, be cognizant of people's allergies and such. You don't start on an allergic reaction.
And the open flame itself.
Yes, exactly. Again, don't burn down your game playing area. Yeah. Don't say that dungeon class did this. You burned my house down. We disavow any kind of responsibility there. But be safe. In short. So basically, in short, this is a great way to prepare and be ready and to do what you can to make your game more engaging, and we think these are the ways that really make that game more memorable to your players. All right, if you'd like to know more about building tension in your game, check out our video on building tension here. And also, if you want to know more about DM tips, great DM tips, check out our playlist, which we have right here.
We would love for you guys to put in the comments below your experience with Ravenloft and if you'd like us to do more videos about this great campaign setting. Also, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and with that, class dismissed.